Good morning, folks out in YouTube land. Hope everyone is having just a great day. So today is going to be a busy day, and I figured I'd start the video a little early while it's calm and quiet, because it's going to be chaos later. We have a ton of stuff going on at the shop today, one of which includes I have to find space and a spot to put this. This is the 1979 Bonneville that was unfortunately in an accident. Not too long ago, we had just finished this motorcycle up, and for one of our good customers, really nice guy, and unfortunately, no fault of his, he was in a super bad accident. The good news is he is alive, and he is on the road to recovery. So, you know, if you're a praying person, say a prayer for Kurt, and or not, just send positive vibes is always good. But we got Kurt's bike here, and as you can see, it's really bad. Like, the tire is blown off the wheel. It doesn't roll. So normally I don't do this kind of thing, right? But Kurt's a really good customer, really good people. So we are gonna store it at the shop while the insurance figures all its stuff out. Obviously the bike is super totaled. The case is broken in two places. But while all that goes on, we'll store it at the shop, and while he's doing his recovery. But I'm confident that he's going to get back to 100% at some point, so that's good stuff. But yeah, let's fire up old Larry here and head to the shop. Alrighty guys, so Jeff is back working on the Hawk here, and our good friends over at Amsoil, Kevin to be exact, hooked us up with this stuff, Power Foam. So we're gonna try it out on the Hawk here and see if it helps out. The Hawk, if you remember, was smoking. After an oil change and much running, it seems like the smoke is going away, but the slides in the carburetor don't seem to be moving like they should. This bike has a ton of vacuum lines on it, and that could be a giant part of it as well. But yeah, we're gonna hit her with some good old Amsoil foam and see what happens. Oh yeah, she's smoking now, boys. Give her some fuel, Jeff. Let that stuff burn out through her. Oh yeah. That smells horrible. That is like the worst smelling thing ever. Oh my gosh. Some more through her. Oop. Keep it revving it. I'm gonna just keep hitting it a little. All right, guys. So after a couple rounds of the old foam ski, yeah, bike's not smoking at all. So yeah, we're pretty happy with that, and we're going to be moving on to a couple other things, but we got big plans for this bike. What do you think, Jeff?
She runs.
She runs. So, pretty cool. Jeff's going to be moving on here to the 1987 Ninja 250. This little feller here needs a carb clean, so he's going to rock and roll on that. Eric is busy making boxes. He's getting real creative, making boxes, shipping out some exhaust parts. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling big time. All right, guys, had to take a little midday field trip. I've been working on this deal for a short time. One of my friends had this bike, and he stopped riding it a couple years ago. He's a really busy dude, so with my bike being down, just kind of worked out perfect. I ended up buying it off of him. So let's check this bad boy out. We used Jeff's old Datsun here to go get her because she's nice and low to the ground, and this thing isn't exactly light. But this is I can't remember what year it's titled as. It's a custom bike that's designed after a Harley Softail Heritage Classic, but it has a Dyna frame. It has an S&S 111 engine in it. It's pretty nice. Big old ape hangers on there. I don't know about those, might have to change that.
but it's a really cool color. It's like a root beer, but it has metal flake in it, if you can see. And then tons of chrome. She's got white walls that are actually in really good shape. I am not a huge fan of white wall tires, mainly because they're insanely hard to keep clean. Certain bikes, they look good. I'm probably gonna end up changing a ton of stuff on this bike, but for now, for something to ride for now, it is gonna work out just fine. But I've been hankering to build a chopper, and the frame and the engine in this is perfect for what I want to build. So in the future, we're definitely going to chop this thing, but for now it'll put me back on 2 wheels while we figure out the rebuild on the Dyna, because that's probably going to come first. But what a cool bike, huh? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and we'll yank her out of here and see if she starts up. The battery was a little low, so it didn't want to start, but I'm friends with the owner. I know the thing runs. I trust the guy, so I was willing to buy it without hearing it run. What do you think, Jeff?
I think she's good.
You think it's a good donor? She's a good donor for a chopper? I did. It's sparkly big time. It's like a bass boat. But yeah, how about that? Custom bike in the back of the Datsun. I bet more people would like to have the Datsun than the bike. Everybody loves the Datsun. Fun. Well, let's see what the boys are up to. We got all kinds of bikes in for service. Damon's putting a lowering link on this thing. Jeff's working on the old Ninja. We got a new guy working on the FZ1 here, getting this thing going. This bike has 71,000 miles on it. She was kind of sitting for a while. Oh, you just started it?
Yeah,
Get out of town. All right.
And
Can we start it again?
yeah. Well, I'd have
Well,
to hook up the fuel.
oh, okay, all right.
That's the only problem. This is what came out of the tank, so that actually
That's-
doesn't look and smell too bad.
All right, guys, so here's the old Softail. I was able to get her running here, and I'll show you. She roars. Oh yeah, nice and loud, nice and loud. We'll edit that out.
Or if it's any good. Usually off is straight down.
Look at it. It's just
Those you needed. That's the first thing to get rid of, dude.
yeah.
I had one of those things.
So yeah, this thing's a ground pounder for sure, and it's got a ton of potential. We're gonna build something really cool out of it, and in the meantime, I'm just gonna ride it because I miss riding. So yeah, I suppose we should get back to work now because I have to pay for it somehow. So we're just chugging along in here, and this is that 650R that we got in, and got a whole bunch of stuff ordered for this. Got the wheels off of it. They're gonna go to the wheel builder here in a couple days, but gotta do some vapor blasting first. I got a blue seat on the way for this thing, and I think it's gonna look killer. Oh, what in the world? The old 650. This thing's gonna be killer. Let's see what, yeah, so the wheels on this bad boy, unfortunately the spokes were just too gnarly and not in great shape. They looked okay on the wheel, but once we got the tire off, kind of realized how bad they were, so a little snip, snip. Snip, snap, snip, snap. Do you understand the toll that 4 vasectomies can have on a man? Oh yeah. Another thing that I've been working on is this back room here. Getting all this area cleaned up here. I didn't video it, but I had a few fellas come over and buy a ton of Harley parts. So we're gonna try and stick the old Triumph back here. Tons and tons of stuff on eBay right now. So yeah, gotta get the old Triumphant back there. The big problem with the Triumph though is it doesn't roll. So getting the thing moving is just next to freaking impossible. So yeah, this is Kurt's bike. I don't know if I videotaped this earlier in the video, but this is Kurt's bike and it is just destroyed. Oh, the Softail's looking good. So the Valkyrie, this thing, I was working on this morning and it came in and the guy said it died on him, and I really can't find anything wrong with it. It runs really good for me. I think that the radiator cap might need replaced, but other than that, like, this thing, it's a Valkyrie with straight 6 pipes, you know. This is definitely the best sounding Honda Cruiser ever made. Honda Stevenson is what it is. But yeah, this uses the same engine as the Goldwing, and Goldwings are typically extremely reliable. Cool little backrest action there. Oh, and the Ninja 250. So this is another one we've been tinkering on. This bike came from another shop. I'm not going to say which shop, but I will say that it came from a shop that's down in Santa Cruz. And boy howdy, did they just royally mess this thing up. So the other intake boot was just totally loose. And then when we got into the carburetor, they just conveniently left some parts out. So of course it didn't run good. And I had to order those parts. So hopefully in a few days they'll get in and we'll get this thing running better. But yeah. Busy times at the old shoppy. Oh, and for those wondering what the heck's going on with the Bonneville here, this bike is pretty much done, and just like everything else, just when you think it's done, one other thing pops up. So we got a, if you can see, leaky fork seal, big time. And unfortunately, the forks kind of have some pitting on them. And we're just gonna have to replace the tube, because I think even with the new seals in there, I think it's still gonna leak. So yeah. Oh, and I found some not so horrible bars for the Dyna. They were better than those straight bars. I've been just on the interwebs, just searching high and low, making a parts list for this thing. I can't wait to strip it down. And if you love this color and this tank set, you let me know, because I will happily sell it. We're gonna do something totally wild with that bike. Well guys, I think this video is probably a little all over the place, but we've just been insanely busy and I've been a little all over the place. So yeah, super busy week, but thankfully got a few projects done, and that's awesome. Got a few bikes out the door, and most importantly, bought myself a new bike that is for me. So yeah, the Softail, don't really intend on selling it. That one is a bike for me. I'm gonna chop that thing, make a cool chopper out of it, and it's gonna be my around town bike. I've heard really good things about the S&S 111, but I've never had one. In fact, I've never had a bike with a complete S&S engine. Like a lot of bikes you'll get will have S&S jugs or heads or whatever. But this thing is straight up S&S, bottom to top, ordered from the factory that way type of dealio. I'm waiting to get the packet of papers from the build. Apparently the owner had all the build sheet paperwork and all the details and all that good stuff. So pretty stoked on that. Can't wait to see it. Like I said, I bought it from a friend. So, you know, that's always a cool thing. Helps him out, helps me out. Good deal all around. Love that stuff. And yeah, it's gonna be good times. So thanks for tuning in. If you happen to be new, don't forget to subscribe while you're here, and we'll see you guys on the next one.